What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Everybody say So it is the holiday season, so I'm sure you guys are trying to do your last minute shopping, start wrapping the gifts, all that good jazz. And so today we're gonna do a little something different. We're gonna talk about the 5 most common or like frequently asked questions that pre-meds have as it relates to medical school. And as we do that, we're gonna wrap some gifts. So let's dive into it. Also, I feel like my parents don't watch my YouTube channel. I know they know about my Instagram and stuff, but I also don't trust my sister. But if you guys are watching this video, you should stop watching right now because your Christmas gifts are going to be in there and you don't want to spoil the surprise. The first question is, what is the hardest part of medical school? So I want to talk about that in 2 phases because I feel like there are 2 very distinct phases of medical school. One of them being like preclinical year and then the other being your clerkship year. As we chat about that, I'm going to wrap. I got from Target the other day. It is just like a mini perfume set because my mom was wanting like a couple of different mini perfumes that she could take to travel, and we smelled a lot of these and they smelled really good. The preclinical, the hardest part of that was just the lack of structure, and that is because of the fact that, hold on guys, you know I can't multitask. Let me. And of course, like when you're in high school, there feels like there's a lot of rules. Like you have to show up at this time. If you're late, you're getting in trouble. Similarly, in college, a lot of my classes had attendance policies. So once again, like I'm expected to be somewhere. In medical school, there is just, I feel like in the preclinical year, there is no structure. We had lectures, but the majority of our lectures were not mandatory. So I essentially was just like, every other week I had an exam to be prepared for, and I just had to kind of like get ready for that, which is terrifying. Oh my God. Do you guys just love when you wrap a gift and it just lines up, like the design lines up? That's beautiful. Also with our lectures, we could have different professors for, like, if we had 5 lectures in a day, there could be 5 different professors. And for every like module, we had a module director that kind of like made sure people were teaching to what they were supposed to and that we knew what was going to be on the exam. But having 5 different people talk to you in 5 hours is just kind of a lot because you have to adapt to all of those different teaching styles, and a lot of times they were back to back, so if someone ran over, then you didn't get a bathroom break, or if you took a bathroom break, then you missed someone else's, like the beginning of their lecture, and they just like keep going, and once you're lost, you're just kind of lost. So I think that was the hardest adjustment. It's going from like having a rigid schedule to then having like survival of the fittest. Like you have to have that intrinsic motivation. It's just really weird for someone that like prefers a little bit of structure. And completely opposite of that, once you get into clinical year, it's kind of like you go from a year to 2 years of just kind of showing up, not having mandatory lectures, to now you're working on a schedule, but like you don't even know really what the schedule is, because clinical year, you know, usually you know what time you need to arrive. Like when I was on surgery, I needed to be there at 5:50 because sign out would be at 6. But I really had no idea every day what time I was gonna be able to go home. Some days I was done at 2 p.m., other days it was 7 p.m. So it just felt like I lost all control of my life. And that was a really tough adjustment. And I think similarly to that, there is a lot of expectations on you as a medical student during your clinical years, especially during your clerkship years, which are usually graded, and maybe all of your clinical years, depending on what school you go to, because some schools do have honors, high pass, fail throughout all of the years. Next, we have this snow globe that my sister got for me. I know it's a Clemson snow globe, but I still haven't opened it, and I want to wrap it up so I can open it on Christmas Day. I'm into like collecting snow globes from different places that I go. And I'm also into collecting coasters. So I'm into like collecting different coasters, specifically hand-painted coasters for when I travel. Anyways, so yeah, this idea of like you're expected to know things, but you're also expected to be in a place where it's okay to ask questions, but every single person that you interact with is going to have differing expectations of you. I think that was the hardest part, because I vividly remember this. Clearly my surgery rotation was the most traumatizing because it's where I have all of my memories from. I asked a question in the middle of a case. It wasn't like, you know, like you need to know when to be quiet. There's definitely like touchy moments in a case where you need to be quiet and everybody needs to like focus, but there was an attending and there was a fellow and a resident, and they all spoke a different language. Well, they spoke English, but then they also had like second languages that I didn't speak, and so they were just like chilling, like giggling, cackling, and so I interrupted to ask I was like, excuse me, I have a question as it's relevant to this case right now, and they're like, we already talked about that, and just kind of like dismissed me, which is insane, versus like other times they're like, you should ask all these questions. If you don't ask questions, it can seem like you're not interested. And so I think that was definitely the biggest like learning curve for me, was going every day. I was going to be working with someone different sometimes, and every day I was going to have like differing expectations of me. And unfortunately, like, we're just humans. Like, we cannot meet every single person's expectations of us. And so I think that was the hardest part about medical school in the preclinical years versus the clinical years. I actually also don't know how to wrap a snow globe. Probably should have just like put something on it, but I don't know, like I just want to have something cutesy under the tree. We just did a little, I think, you know, like you have how you see people and they know how to do all these like cool little wrapping things. Well, I'm not that girly. Like, I am a great wrapper when it comes to the basics. Like, that little box there, that I can crush, but I think I have an idea for this. We're just gonna, so this is what we do here, and then I got a little solid bottom. Let's see what else we can do. I have been procrastinating wrapping my two biggest gifts, and the first is this ice maker that my dad really wanted. My sister has this nugget ice maker at my apartment, and every time we go up there, my dad's like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. So we're getting him a nugget ice maker. And let's go ahead and chat about the second question. How do you balance medical school with personal life? I think that is such a good question, and honestly, like, a question that I've essentially gotten ever since I started this account. Like, the question is always, how do you do it all? And I wish I had a simple, like, here's a 3-step plan of how you do it. And if someone had come out with that, they would be a millionaire. So unfortunately, I don't have that answer for you today. But I think the most important thing that you should do, like, at whatever phase of your life that you're in, but especially before you start medical school, is figure out what your priorities are. For some people, their priorities are going to the gym, and they make sure that they are in a gym class every single day of the week. For me, one of my priorities was Clemson football. So I went to a state school for undergrad. We are big football people, and there is a bar in New York City that they host watch parties for the football games every Saturday in the fall. So I think almost every single Saturday during my first year of medical school, I was there. And to make that happen, I had to make sure that whether it was like Sunday or during the week, I was going to be like more on top of it and getting my work done, so that way I could dedicate those Saturdays to enjoying the football games with my friends. And my med school like friends are not really like big football people, so this was also an opportunity for me to like hang out with people that weren't in medical school and like talk about something other than, you know, the stresses of, you know, like coursework and different things like that. And so I think that was a great escape. So I really think it is identifying what those priorities are. There are going to be some priorities that you say every single time that I want to make this every single time. If it's that workout class, or like for me it was the football, but there's going to be other things that are like, it's important to me, but I'm not going to make every single thing. And so that was like family events. I knew that by moving to New York City, I was not gonna be able to go home every single time like there was some family thing happening. But I have been able to go to like majority of the like family things that I've wanted to go to. So, you know, kind of me in the middle there. And I think also like scheduling is really important. I use Notion. I am a Notion stan. I was like exposed to it the summer before medical school, so I just spent like that entire summer crafting my Notion database, and I've used it like for step 2 studying, and of course like people create their own like Notion templates, and so you can kind of utilize other people's templates as a starting place. But I think it's really important to find a way to organize yourself so that way you can have a visual of what all you have to get done, and also like what is like prioritize also your to-dos. So like there's some things that have to get done today. There's some things that need to get done this week. There's some things that like I kind of want to get it done in 2024, but it's not that big of a deal for me. Like right now I am involved in a couple of different research projects, and I kind of want to find another research project to get involved with, but it's not like something that I need to graduate. It's not something that I need to do to get into my dream residency program. So it's like when I have the time to reach out to potential research mentors, I'll do that. But until then, I'm not going to prioritize it over, you know, the project that I have that has a deadline of March, that kind of thing. And so for everybody it looks different, and that is the hard part, because there is really no one size fits all approach for medical school. If there was, then everyone would like ace medical school with flying colors, everybody would become a doctor, and they're just like, that's just not realistic, unfortunately. And so that is kind of where we're at. All right, this is the next thing that I have to wrap. So my sister like usually gives me like different ideas of what she wants, but I always try to get her something that's not on her list, just as a surprise gift. And so I got her some clothes, and so I got this like bodycon dress from Target, and I know she likes bodycon dresses, but this has more of like a square top to it, so I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments if you think she will like it or not. And the good thing is I'm keeping the receipt, but it was only like $18, so it's not the end of the world. Honestly, I might try it on if she doesn't like it, but I really do want her to like it, because it's always nice to like surprise someone with a little gift. The other thing that I grabbed her, we are just like match and set girlies. Like if there's a match and set in the world, between the two of us, we probably have it. And so this is like in their PJs, but I also think it can be worn out. So here, let me get the full fit. So I saw this top and I was like, this is my sister. Like I could just see her wearing this. And so then I had to get the matching bottoms. And so I feel like pretty confident that she's gonna like this. The only issue is she loves to shop at Target, and she has good Targets near her. So there is a possibility that she already has this set, and that's okay because we keep the receipts for everything at Christmas. But I am kind of obsessed with it, so I'm really hoping that on Christmas Day she will love it, and I will have killed the sister game, because that will make me feel really good. Oh, the scissor glide is like my favorite thing in all of the world. I think that this is where we will stop this video with those two FAQs, and then let me know if you guys liked this video, if you thought this was helpful. I remember when I was a pre-med student, like I was obsessed with the idea of medical school, but I really don't think I actually understood what I was getting myself into and what that transition was going to look like, and then ultimately like what it was going to be like to be in medical school. And now I am at the point where I'm over halfway through with medical school, and I'm starting to think about what my life will be like as a physician in residency and beyond. And I think we just need more people that are open to like being transparent about their journey, which is why I really want to do this series. So let me know if you guys liked it, if you want to see more content like this, if you want to see a part 2, part 3. If you have not already, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel on YouTube so you don't miss out when I share new videos. And thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of this journey. I'll see y'all next time.